it feels like it's been quite a few months since I last atoned for my sins on this YouTube channel through a songs playlist, something actually beneficial to the viewer, as opposed to just talking about what I want to talk about all the time. This is for you. Excuse me being an absent father, it's alright. I'm gonna make up for it, alright, with time, care, and music. So we all know that Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, came out around this time 10 years ago. I actually have a video, a hit battle between Drake and Kanye West coming on this channel in a few days, and I'll be gushing all over, yes, gushing all over Kanye West in that video about Wednesday or Thursday. Don't worry about it right now, but I wanted to shout out songs like Gorgeous, songs like Devil in a New Dress. These songs are songs that made up my adolescence, songs that made me appreciate Kanye West's genius and made me put him at my #2 rapper spot of all time. I really mean that. I hope I find somebody in my life that's never heard this piece of music before. I hope I find someone in the comment section that have never heard this album before. Oh my God, please rile yourself up again. Remind yourself of why you've been a Kanye West fan half your life. Go ahead and listen to Devil in a New Dress. The way you look should be a sin, you my sensation. Ain't about to waste no time. We going off on these niggas. Now Jeezy dropped another album. Now generally, if you know me and you know my relationship with Jeezy's music, you know that I'm not generally a fan of the albums that he's been putting out the last few years. Actually, I'm not a big fan of that much that he's put out since Thug Motivation. I'll be honest with you. However, there are a couple of gems on this new record, more than I expected. One of my favorites being Niggas, right? That is one of the greatest songs, not the greatest of his discography, but it's a good song. It's a really good song. I love the idea behind it, and he's trying to push this narrative really strongly that nigga isn't a person, it's a state of mind, it's the way you think, it's how you move, you know, and things like that. And I really like the way it's approached in this track. I think the idea could be expounded on a little bit more because the framing of it, his flow does get a little repetitive at certain moments, but I do still think it's a great song. The other two songs that you'll also see in the list are two songs that are produced by Justice League. Oh my God, are they fantastic. One being, I think it's Thought or Food for My Soul or something like that. Therapy for My Soul, I think it was something like that was the name of it. I love Gucci's flow. I love Jeezy's flow on this track. I think it's fantastic, phenomenal, all those words that you can use to describe this. I do like the Freddie Gibbs diss. I'm a big fan of Freddie Gibbs, but I think he's got this stuff coming. You know, he's been throwing shots on Instagram for a minute now, right? And while I think it's funny, I can't be mad at Snow for being mad. Y'all want to hear something that's kind of crazy? There's an album that I've been listening to that I haven't actually finished. I'm really only 2 songs in, but I've only gotten 2 songs in because I've been so obsessed with listening to the second one. It's a song by Uchis. She's released a Latin record, a full album in Spanish, and it's got a PartyNextDoor feature on it. While I think the PartyNextDoor feature kind of ruins it, and I don't think it fits as well as I think another artist may have, Uchis' vocals, man, she's fantastic. For 2 songs, right? For 2 songs, she's 2 for 2 in my opinion. But if this album goes the way I think it'll continue to go, I gotta recommend it. I gotta tell y'all to check it out, man. I don't know what that Spanish R&B do to him, man. You don't know, man. Oh my God, it hits right here. My chest, my heart is actually over here. Another great album that I heard recently, and I don't know if it's an album or an EP or a slight little tape or something like that. It's from Chuck Stranger's, titled Too Afraid to Dance. He delves into his anti-socialism a bit and talks, you know, in a very introspective light about some of his plights, some of his strengths, the rap game, etc. I do love the beats and the production on this album a lot. There are features from Ka, features from Navy Blue, so there are some of your standard artists that you would expect to be rapping over instrumentals like this, and I think he does his thing just as easily as they do. As I listen to it more, I find something new that I love about it, so I definitely recommend it. Slowthai is also hitting us with some somewhat Brockhampton-esque vibes, or earlier Brockhampton-esque vibes, kind of what I'm getting from him. And I've always wanted for Slowthai to kind of calm down his delivery, calm down his energy just a little bit, to see what direction he could go in if he kind of delivered a more emotionally subdued record, or a little bit more of a flamboyant subdued record where his energy isn't so high and he's a little bit more calm and controlled. And I definitely think these tracks that he's releasing that are a little bit more smooth and a little bit more calm definitely play towards that idea more. I'm excited for his album coming out in February of next year. So from the 2 tracks that we've gotten so far from him, they've been pretty good. I definitely recommend this one as well. DaBaby on Gucci is emotionally transparent in ways that I didn't think he would be. Obviously, due to everything that's happened with his brother, unfortunately, he did get more introspective and more open on this record to let us know how he's feeling right now. And while I think that's sad, I gotta agree, or I gotta just like put it out there. I think that makes for the best music that he makes, and it definitely puts him in a light that we don't normally get to see him in. If you want to check out Gucci Peacoat, that's probably the best song out of the EP in my opinion. But there are a few other records that I think are a little bit more melodic. One with Polo G that I really like the sound of as well. The record that they came out with months ago, and I'm just now hearing it because they released their Amanda tape. I liked a good amount of the R&B on this project. Don't get me wrong, but Count Me In definitely just grabbed me. And I don't know, it was so smooth, it's so addicting, it's a really good song. I played it slowed as well, and I think it's even better that way. Show it to ya, oh, put your heart in my hands. Mavi dropped a new track. I don't remember what it was about, but I know it sounds good. Mavi's always delivering. Probably something conscious, probably something spiritual, but I know it sounded really groovy, and Mavi's flow is pretty much undeniable. He can't really go wrong on most of the tracks that he's on these days. Honestly, I feel like if we got another Boondocks, which hopefully we get at some point in the future, I know we probably can't get much of it because John Witherspoon is no longer with us, but you should really get Mavi to do the soundtrack. I think I would like to hear his voice in the background of some Boondocks episodes. I would. That would be nice. Nav came through with some entertaining hits. The intro, the other with Young Thug. I think it's called Yeah. It's not called Yeah. It's called Repercussions. That's what it's called. And then the other track, I think it's Don't Need Friends with Lil Baby. Those are some of the best tracks Nav has ever created in his entire career, in his entire life, in his entire lineage. Y'all wanted me to say something about these Ariana Grande tracks. You know, when I heard 69, the track 69, or 32 plus 34 equals 69, no the fuck it doesn't. What are you talking about? When I heard tracks like that, it just like made me painfully aware of how like easily an artist who's deemed attractive can kind of sell themselves as someone who really knows what they're doing in the bedroom. But from the songs she made, this would be the driest sex in human history. I don't think for one moment that this is like a track that I like. If you're getting turned on by this, you've never had sex before. Like that's what I'm assuming. These songs aren't sexy. They aren't like, oh my god, I want to rip all my clothes off and I just want to find someone. Like that's not what that is to me. It just screams, I know people want to fuck me, and so I'm gonna make a song about sex, even though I don't really know how to have it. But the intro cut, Shut Up's a good song. I like Shut Up a lot. Like that's dope. Her vocals are great. Her sensuality is top notch as usual. But yeah, those sex tracks, not for me. Jid finally released this one banger of a cut. It's called Ballads, and it features Conway. I really like this cut. I originally thought it was a Conway track played on his Instagram Live a long time ago, but it actually is a track that belongs to Jid. I like his verse. I like Conway's verse. Not an amazing, crazy track, but I think it definitely has a lot of soul behind it. I love the loop. I love how both of them handle it. Definitely give it a chance if you have not already. There's another track. You didn't hear it from me, right? You didn't hear it from me. If you just so happen to type in Conway Ghost Music on YouTube featuring Busta Rhymes, you might find something and you might love it. You might love the Busta Rhymes feature. That's all I'm saying, but you didn't hear it from me. Peppers and Onions from Tierra Whack is such a weirdly addicting and catchy song, like most of her music. The track pretty much about her imperfections, people hopefully not being disappointed with the way she carries herself. She's new to this. These whistles in the background and the bass dropping is just so addicting. She really knows how to make these tracks that seem so childlike and playful bangers just easily. Kuttem Reese got a track called Boston Celtics. It's amazing. It's great. It's addicting. Not too much in the way of lyricism here, but a Florida rapper, Florida artist, he's definitely got that Florida influence to him, at least from what I can hear. If he's not from Florida, I'd be really fucking surprised. Piano on this track is really addicting as well. Nothing really else to say. I mean, check it out. Xavier Omar also released a full-length R&B record. I gotta say I really enjoyed it, especially the track with Mariba. Definitely gave me a lot of early Miguel vibes. I think it's a smooth cut, smooth track. You may not like every song off of here. Some of them may be reminiscent of R&B crooning songs that you've heard before. The writing is nothing too special, but I do have to admit these songs are really smooth, really touching in a lot of instances, and you can tell even if you're not a fan of all of them that they come from the heart, that they are sincere. I'm really a big fan of Mr. Right Now featuring Drake from 21 Savage's new record with Metro Boomin. I'm a fan of a good portion of the tracks off of that album, but Mr. Right Now has really taken to me. Like I've really taken to it, I'm sorry. And it's just a banger, man. It is. The energy on that track is great. It kind of feels a little Pierre Bjorn-esque, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it. It's really catchy. It's really grabbing. Even outside of the Drake mentioning SZA in that line, I think it's still a good track. The next one that I would have to mention is Four Thangs from Freddie Gibbs and Big Shawn. I really like this track. I didn't at first. Thought it was a little too short. Out of nowhere, the bass just started knocking, and I was like, yo, this track is one of the greatest things I've ever heard in 2020, all right? Despite the shit year, this is a great part of it. This is a track that needs to be heard again and again and again. Speaking of great tracks, Benny the Butcher, great track with One Way Flight, and another cut with Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs been killing the feature game recently. I'm not gonna lie, you know, he's been doing his thing, all right? Even with the release of his own work, Alfredo, he's still been doing justice to everyone else, all right? I love it, all right? I love it. But One Way Flight is an amazing song. The sample being looped is fantastic. It's beautiful. It's phenomenal. What else do I have to say? Yeah, and Ty Dolla $ign, that track with Kanye West, I think that's probably the best track on that album. Outside of that, I don't really see the point in the rest of it, but yeah. That's about all I got for this song's playlist. I'll probably have a couple of extra loosies in the comment section or in the description as well that I may not have mentioned at the head of this video. But I'll be seeing y'all soon. You know, you've seen me enough for a day. You got your songs, you got your playlist, you got all you wanted. You don't really care about me, so you can get off the video now at this point. Like, I really have no reason to be here anymore. But seriously, appreciate y'all as usual for tuning in, viewing, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, I am out.